What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another very exciting video. And this is a part of my new video series I have been thinking about doing for a while now. I hope you enjoy it. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's something new, and it's not an unboxing, so it's not costing me all my money. Yay! My money is saved. I'm going on vacation in a week, okay? I gotta save money. I gotta pinch the pennies. Pinch those pennies, save that money. Anyways, this is a new series I'm calling From Memory. I don't know if I'm going to actually take the time to edit in those words on the screen, but if I did, good job, future me. You did 10 seconds of work. Anyways, From Memory is a series where I, with no prior attempts, am going to recite the entire story of something from memory to show you how much of a frickin' nerd I am. And because it's fun, I guess. And no cuts, no edits. I didn't study up on the Wikipedia page before this video. It's just from memory. Because it's fun. It's something fun to do. And each one will be a different series, book, something, video game, TV show, movie, series. But the first one we're starting off with is, if you know me, my favorite thing in the entire world, and that is One Piece. One Piece is a manga, anime, written by Ichiro Oda, and it is, it's good stuff. I've been reading it for a long time now, years now. It warms my heart. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, One Piece. The rules of the game are basically that I just want to see if I can recite something perfectly from memory each series. So if it's a series you enjoy, you watch it, you have fun, you laugh at me for doing something so stupidly nerdy. But, you know, my mind's not full of such smart people things. It's full of things like this. But that's okay. So let's begin with the entirety of One Piece from memory. The entirety of One Piece. One Piece starts off on the island of Windmill Village, Fuchsia Village, I believe. And it starts off with our protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy, and he sets out by himself to become the king of the pirates. Many years prior, the original king of the pirates, Gold Roger, was sentenced to execution, and at the site of his execution, he proclaimed that he left all the treasure he had gained over his piracy in one place, in one piece, and thus a new pirate age had started. So Monkey D. Luffy sets off on his journey to find the One Piece and become king of the pirates, and not only, he's not by himself because he also ate what we call the Gum Gum fruit, which is a devil fruit, which is a fruit that gives you a superhuman ability, but makes it so you can't swim, which if you're a pirate, that's kind of like half your thing is the ocean, so, you know, double-edged sword. He says the Gum Gum fruit, which turns his body into rubber. Oh, my cat. Dax is being a little dumb. Anyways, so it turns his entire body into rubber, which sounds really stupid, but he eventually uses it as a pretty good fighting technique. Luffy sets off, and his first thing he does is he runs into Alvida, a really fat chick. She's kind of a dingy pirate, and she has kidnapped a boy named Kobe, and he is her, like, he swabs the poop deck is what he does. So Luffy beats her up, saves Kobe, and the two go off onto another island where they find that it is being run by a tyrant marine leader named Axe-Hand Morgan and his son Helmeppo. They also find Roanoa Zoro, a swordsman bounty hunter, has turned himself into the Marines, and he's just kind of there. So Luffy teams up with Zoro, frees Zoro, beats up Axe-Hand Morgan, and then Kobe decides to join the Marines, so Zoro and Luffy separate from Kobe. We won't see Kobe again until Water 7. Those two set off and immediately get lost, and that is when they end up on an island that is currently being terrorized by the pirate Buggy the Clown. Our hero, Buggy. And Buggy is also being helped out by Nami, a cat burglar, and after a little shenanigans and Nami kind of, you know, double crosses Luffy, that happens a lot. They beat Buggy, kick him off the island, and Nami joins the crew temporarily for that time being as the crew's navigator so they won't get lost. Alright, after that, the three of them travel along to an island that is populated by the god himself, Usopp. And Usopp is a notorious liar around the village. That's what he is known for. He does have 3 followers named after foods. I think carrot onion's one of them. He is also in love with the town rich girl named Kaya, who happens to be sick, and it ends up that her butler, Kuro, is actually a very evil pirate whose entire plan was to be her butler and eventually kill her and steal her money after 3 years, which for one of the smartest men in the East Blue, he's not very smart. So anyways, obviously Luffy and crew beat him. As a thanks, What's-Her-Face's other butler builds a ship for him, the Going Merry, which will be our ship for a while now, and Usopp declares that he is going to join the crew, and he'll be captain if Luffy is not up to the snuff. So the 4 of them are going along and they're getting a little hungry, and that is when they find the floating restaurant, the Baratier, and that is a very well-known restaurant in the East Blue, and it just happens to have a cook there named Sanji. Now, Sanji ended up there after he was with Blackleg Zeph, and the 2 of them were starving on an island together. He ate his leg. Gross! And then Sanji ended up being cooked there to, you know, help him out. And then, an evil bad guy comes, and he's just came from the Grand Line, got his batuti handed to him by Mihawk, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, and it's first of the Baratie we find out who the 7 warlords are. They are pirates that are now working for the Maroons in order for not, you know, being hunted, but they're pretty damn strong. So anyways, I literally can't remember his name right now. He's such an unremarkable villain. He comes, he's got a spiky shield and poison. He tries to destroy the Baratier. Doesn't work. Sanji tells Luffy his dream of finding the All Blue, which is a sea where all the fish of all the oceans come together. And Sanji joins up with Luffy. Now we have our 5 crew that we'll be with for a while. Alright, after the Baratier, the crew finally make it to Reverse Mountain, which is a mountain that the stream goes up and then down and takes you to the Grand Line, which is where the majority of One Piece takes place. And that is the first part of One Piece. As the crew is going down the mountain into the Grand Line, they run into literally a giant whale named Laboon, who has a lot of scratches on his head. And he becomes very important later. We find out after talking to Crocus, who ends up being a member of Gold Roger's crew, that Laboon is waiting for a crew that he used to hang out with, a musical crew, and he's waiting there and he hits the mountain every day to try to get over to the other side of the Grand Line, and there's my cat. Ah, there she goes. And he's waiting there, and Luffy says, "No, you can wait for me." Paints his pirate, his Jolly Roger, on Laboon's head, and Laboon is happy. It is also at this time that we start hearing about numbered people and people named after holidays, and that is Baroque Works. Okay, so we end up at Whiskey Peak, an island of cactuses, and after having a super cool party, everyone's drunk and passed out except for Zoro, and we find out that the Whiskey Peak is made up of people from Baroque Works who are trying to get people the bounties on the Straw Hats' heads. So Zoro fights them. Luffy and Zoro get in a fight after a misunderstanding. Nami whacks him on the head. They're all happy. And that is when Vivi, the Princess of Alabasta, joins the crew as she was undercover in Baroque Works. And she's trying to free her country. Sorry. Just someone walked past the door. It was weird. Anyways, Vivi's trying to free her country from one of the 7 warlords of the sea, Crocodile. So Vivi, in the meantime, decides to join up with the Straw Hats because they're going to help her out. She also has a duck named Karu with her who does not do much, but he's a fun character anyways. Alright, so the crew then goes to a place called Little Garden, which is actually inhabited by nothing but giants and giant dinosaurs, and there's two giants on there, Dory and Groggy, who are part of the giant crew, and they're fighting it out, duking it out over something some long forgotten history. They fight it out. The Straw Hats find him. Mr. 3 comes in. He tries to kill the Straw Hats. Doesn't work. Basically, the entire point of Little Garden is for Nami to get bitten by a bug that causes her to get sick, so they need to go find a doctor. The crew sails off to Drum Island, an island notorious for its doctors, but they find out King Wapol is kind of a dick, and so Nami's sick. Luffy carries her to the top of this thing looking for the renowned doctor. Finds the doctor, old crazy lady, and she's also training a reindeer named Chopper who ate the human fruit that gives him the, he can have human-like characteristics and change into different forms, but it also makes it so he's kind of an outcast to both reindeer and humans. Okay, so Luffy beats up Wapol, defends Chopper, and decides, Chopper, you're gonna join my crew as the Doctor. And they're all happy. Nami's saved. Everyone's happy. We sail off again. Finally, we make it to Alabasta, the Sand Kingdom. And it's through here that we have a fun desert trek. We meet Luffy's brother Ace, who has the flame fruit. He's pretty cool. He'll come back later. And then, after Luffy beats up people, his crew beats up all the members of Baroque Works, he finally fights Crocodile, and after getting his butt handed to him a couple times, literally stabbed through the chest once, he defeats Crocodile and saves Alabasta and frees it from its people. But he's still a pirate, so he has to go away. Vivi decides to not join the crew as she has her pirating, has her princessing to get to, and she wants to bring her country back to snuff. So while she does not join the Straw Hats, she's always a member of the crew in a way. The Straw Hats sail off, but what's this? There's a stowaway on the crew. Nico Robin, which was one of the leaders of Baroque Works, decided, she's bored of that life. She wants to be a pirate now and thinks the Straw Hats are interesting, so they reluctantly let her join the crew. So now we have that 7-member crew. The crew is sailing along the ocean, and all of a sudden a giant ship falls out of the air and almost kills the crew. And they learn that there is a myth of a place called Sky Island, a literal island in the sky. Sounds crazy, but the Straw Hats, especially Luffy, want to find it. So we go to Mock Island, Mock Town, and that is where they find... First off, we run into Blackbeard for the first time, and I just remembered, I forgot a part a little bit back where they go to Log Town, and Luffy almost gets killed by Buggy, but it's not super important. We do run into Dragon and his father, but that happened. I didn't forget it, but I did. Anyways, we're on Mock Town. Luffy runs into Blackbeard, says dreams never die. He runs into Bellamy, one of Don Quixote Doflamingo's subordinates. Bellamy's kind of a jerk. No one should like him yet. And then finally he runs into Mont Blanc Cricket, who is the one of the ancestors of a notorious storybook character and liar who was murdered for lying about Sky Island. But we find out later that it's not, he didn't lie. So Luffy rides the knock upstream. His ship literally goes up into the ocean, up into the air through a giant stream that goes up into the clouds, and bada bing bada boom, Sky Island is real. While on Sky Island, Luffy starts to unfold a plot by God and Nell himself, and Luffy decides to kick God's literal patootie, and after a whole shenanigans up in Sky Island, Luffy kicks God's butt, and really all that comes from it is they get a heck of a lot of gold, and they go down. You get a lot of gold from Sky Island, that's the important part. Alright, the crew goes down, whee! Then we get into a ridiculous arc, which is the Davy Back fight. We meet Foxy. And Luffy and Foxy get in a Davy Back fight, which is basically a bunch of goofy games against pirate crew versus pirate crew. Obviously, Luffy ends up winning with his crew, and that's that. Foxy is gone. Alright, after that, the crew is sailing along, and like the boat's like, uh-oh, Going Merry's kind of getting broken because we didn't treat it right, so they need to go fix the Going Merry. So they go to Water 7, a place renowned. Conveniently, they always go to places that are renowned for the things they just happen to need. Water 7, a place that is renowned for its shipwrights and shipbuilders. So they go, we'll go all this gold we got from Sky Island. We can buy whatever we need to fix the Going Merry. But uh-oh, the Going Merry's broken beyond repair. That sucks. Usopp's not having any of that shenanigans. So while they could buy a new ship, Usopp's like, nope, I'm out. He and Luffy fight, and they go on a little break together. Meanwhile, Frankie, one of the crime lord bosses around Water 7, hears of all this gold, beats up Usopp, steals the gold, and buys some really strong wood to build his own ship. It becomes important later on. So after all this is happening there's a giant storm, and in the middle of this, Robin knowingly goes away with some masked criminal people. Not criminals, no. Goes away with some masked people, and the Straw Hats are like, wow, we lost another crew member. Oh no. So, the Straw Hats devise a plan to save Robin, who was arrested by CP9, a government organization, and is being taken away to prison on Ennis Lobby. So the Straw Hats are like, nah, you're not taking Robin from us, we like her now. So they hop on the water train. It's a train that literally rides around on the train on the ocean. And they take that, and everyone in their own way gets to Ennis Lobby, which is like a giant government island where notorious pirates or criminals are sentenced. And everyone, we get there, and the Straw Hats have to fight the different members of CP9 to get a key to unlock Robin's lock. And after everyone gets in their own fights, Luffy finally goes up against Rob Lucci, where he shows off 2 new forms, Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd. Pretty cool, Gear 3rd, he can literally enlarge himself. He beats Rob Lucci, saves Robin, and then there's a buster call. The whole island is getting destroyed, and then the Straw Hats are like, we're screwed, the island's crumbling apart, we're stuck here, we saved Robin, what are we gonna do? All of a sudden they hear something, they jump in the ocean, and there's the Going Merry. The Going Merry was alive.